I'm a mother to a son with autism. So he's 18 years old now. It's been a long journey understanding autism, but also gave me the opportunity to get exposed to disability, diversity, and how the environment and the environmental barriers or architectural barriers impact the lives of persons with disabilities. So I have integrated it to a very large extent. I mean, developed a universal design pedagogy around it, integrated it into all the years, starting from the first year, not just as an elective, but a mandatory component of any architectural design project that is given to every student. Apart from that, we also have a Center for Universal Design and Research at the Institute, which works on right from creating awareness, doing sensitization, to universal design training, universal design research, as well as developing innovative solutions that can be integrated into the built environment.
Hello and welcome to the India Autism Center podcast. We are at the International Purple Fest Goa 2025 as the official podcast partners. And I have with me today Kavita Murgarkar, the principal of the Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Architecture. Nice to have you on the podcast, ma'am.
Yes, hi, thank you for having me here.
Ma'am, you're a principal of an architecture college, and what I often hear from architects, etc., is that they don't even know much about universal design. Why are architects even today not knowledgeable about universal design? And I'm asking this question because I know you are a big proponent of universal design and you've done a lot of work on accessibility in the built environment.
Yeah, so traditionally, universal design, which was then called as barrier-free design, barrier-free architecture, was never a part of the mainstream curriculum of architecture. And it was left to the sensitivity and the exposure of the faculty that the students would get introduced to it. Now, with the grown awareness and the mandate because of RPWD Act, Council of Architecture has also recommended very strongly that all curriculum across the universities in India should integrate universal design and accessibility into the curriculum. So to some extent, again, depending on the initiative taken at individual universities and institutes, universal design and accessibility is being integrated in a large way, but most of the times in the form of an elective. But I feel that it needs to be integrated right from the first year of architecture, so that it becomes a fundamental value with which students design architectural projects. And I think it's picking up, though slowly, but yes, it's happening.
Globally, are there any countries where it is part of the mainstream curriculum for architecture?
Yes, I think, the American Disability Act is extremely strong. So there it is a part. And in fact, as much as I know that breach of any accessibility compliance can actually lead to discontinuation of an architectural practicing license in advanced countries. So it is definitely something that architects abroad do not afford to not comply with. But in the Indian context, I think we are still, in the process of even getting aware that there is something called the RPWD Act, and there are stipulated guidelines under the National Building Code, as well as the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, that have to be followed. And until they get notified in individual ULBs, and it becomes a part of the building approval compliance system, we are not going to really see effective.
I will come to that, but I was just curious. Have you taken any initiatives in your own college to ensure students are more sensitive about
Yes,
design?
absolutely. And this, I've been doing this for the last more than 15 years. So though I kind of got I never was taught this when I did my architecture 25 years back. Life experience brought me to this, kind of a.
What do you mean when you say life experience?
So I'm a caregiver as well. I'm a mother to a son with autism. So he's, 18 years old now. So it's been a long journey understanding autism, but also gave me the opportunity to get exposed to, disability, diversity, and how the environment and the environmental barriers or architectural barriers impact the lives of persons with disabilities. And I think I took it up as a personal responsibility to not just understand and inculcate it into my own education and practice as an architect, but also impart training and sensitize my own students as well. So I have integrated it to a very large extent. Developed a universal design pedagogy around it, integrated it into all the years, starting from the first year, not just as an elective, but a mandatory component of any architectural design project that is given to every student. Apart from that, we also have a Center for Universal Design and Research at the Institute, which kind of works on right from creating awareness, doing sensitization, to universal design training, universal design research, as well as you know uh, developing innovative solutions that can be integrated into the built environment.
When we talk about accessibility in India,
Yeah.
we often, most people actually just think about ramps and tactiles, perhaps.
Yes.
What is universal design in the context of autism?
So, universal design in the context of autism, I would say, is not the physical environment, the whole experience of being in a space, how comfortable it is, how it responds to the sensory and the cognitive needs of a person with autism. It could be simple things like patterns or the kind of quality of light or even the quality of ventilation can affect a person with autism and can kind of, create discomfort, which eventually can lead um, to anxiety or, some kind of things that need calming down. So, sensory overload. So, even the acoustics, the integration of natural elements within the building can also help in calming down. So, you don't really would then need to have artificial measures like, kind of a sensory integration room or a calming room, but the whole environment, how the architecture kind of brings in the nature, allows good natural light and ventilation, maintains good buffering spaces, acoustics, soothing colors, textures that don't disturb the eye or kind of give unnecessary sensory overload because of the unpleasant textures that one could be affected with in case of autism. So I think, yeah, that is, these are some of the things that I can quickly talk about. Yeah.
No, I ask this question because we are, of course, on the India Autism Center podcast here.
Yes.
Have you seen builders prioritize these things? Has a shift started happening?
See, again, those who have a personal experience or are are already sensitized, they definitely are open to ideas or to even integrating these things. So it is it's happening, but again in kind of uh, in in a way sporadically. As a movement or as a commitment from the building industry, I think we have a long way to go still. People still have these misunderstandings or are under misconceptions that integrating accessibility comes with an additional cost, will have a larger footprint in terms of the building space that is required and all that, and may take away the aesthetic appeal. So these are some kind of misconceptions that would have to be ironed out, erased out. by creating more and more examples of, universal design. And I think then it would kind of become.
But in fact, part of
mainstream.
universal design is ensuring that the aesthetics don't get spoiled while ensuring
Absolutely.
a building is accessible. So it's not an or, right? You can ensure both as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are ample examples around the world, maybe less in the built environment, but more in the product design industry, industrial design industry, where we see amazingly, designed products which kind of are balancing the aesthetics as well as the functionality so beautifully.
Could you give us a few examples?
Let's take an iPhone. I mean, an iPhone is that way, the best example of integrating accessibility while having a very smart, sleek look, that anyone would want to kind of carry. There are actually a lot of examples. One more example, very functional, is, the Tupperware products. Now, these Tupperware products are integrating the universal design principles. At the same time, they are, extremely sophisticated in their looks. Any woman would want to have Tupperware products in their kitchen. And it actually helps in, minimizing the effort, kind of, very intuitive in use, absolutely ergonomic in its design and all that, while having the aesthetic appeal. So yes, there are a lot of examples.
Let me ask you the opposite question. For example, toothpaste, as we get them in the market today,
Yeah.
are not very accessible for people with autism,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Have you seen innovations in products like those which where universal design has been adopted?
At least I am not aware of, but that's what I mean. While I've given you just one or two examples, but there are so many things around us that really need to be relooked with this perspective of universal design, and can, be innovatively kind of developed, as an universal.
What is the additional cost involved while making a building to make it really accessible to persons with disabilities? Because people often say there's no business case, and that is why I'm asking. I don't think it's that big a cost, to be very honest. Which is
whenever I'm asked this question, I would, I respond back by saying, do we really think about, how much cost goes in if we have to do the fire, fighting equipment and stuff like that, or all the other safety measures like the CCTV cameras and all that. I mean, we are so
we need to change our thought process, basically.
we are absolutely okay with spending huge amount of our.
So you and I are on the same team. We both want everything to be accessible. But I mean, I just hear this criticism often. So I'm asking.
We spend on beautifying spaces with false ceilings and with all kinds of paneling stuff, and lavish carpets and stuff like that. But I mean, why is that, the cost pinching only when it comes to integrating something so basic and fundamental as, accessibility measures? So it really doesn't come with an additional cost. It comes, it is a burden when you don't integrate it right from the design stage. And then when you have to retrofit it, then it obviously is additional cost.
The RPWD Act actually mandates accessibility.
Yes.
But unfortunately, not a single state has changed its building bylaws to include accessibility.
Yes.
Which is one big problem. What do you think can governments do to ensure accessibility is complied with more strictly?
See, there is this act, and it has to be notified by all the states before it actually gets into the system, right, of enforcement. So I think even today there are a lot of states which have not notified the RPWD Act, and unless that is notified, then how would we kind of, integrated into the actual building approval system? So firstly, the states have to notify the RPWD Act. Based on that, there has to be a state kind of a policy and regulation or notification that has to be passed to integrated into the building approval system in all the ULBs across all districts. And once it is a part of the ULB building approval system, then there is going to be an accessibility compliance check that would have to be kept, would have to be integrated into the system. Just like you need a fire NOC, similarly, you would need a accessibility compliance NOC. And once that is done, then the completion certificates can be offered. Unless we get all these things integrated into the system, we cannot really guarantee that the building that is being offered a completion certificate even while we are talking is really accessible or no.
No, I think that's very well put, and I hope we achieve that.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you one last question that I've been asking everybody who's come on this podcast. What do you think can the common citizen of India do to make India an equal opportunity country for persons with disabilities?
I recall Gandhiji's message to us that be the change you want to see. So I think instead of waiting for the government or somebody else to kind of give you a carrot or a stick, why don't we just take it up on ourselves and contribute and do our bit, because it's not for the persons with disabilities alone. I mean, disability is it's a universal phenomena, and one can encounter it at any point of the life cycle. So I think it's about us and not about them. And if we think that this is necessary for us, maybe at any point of the time, I think we should just ensure that we integrate it into whatever we do, wherever we work, wherever we live, and not just wait for the law to become stronger and somebody to just check you because you're not complying with it.
That's a very powerful statement to end on. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor Kavita.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure talking here.
Thank you.
So much.